Good day, good day, good day. I might have been looking crazy. I was looking at someone on this computer, just making sure everything's good. Hopefully your day is going well. My day is going excellent, actually. Man, I just wanted to talk about relationships, relationship dynamics, and just some of the commonalities in most relationships around the world, right? Like, I was watching Family, the Braxtons. So, it's been a while. It's been quite a few years, actually, since I watched the Braxtons. And they're just not returning, of course, with their new season. And watching the first episode and, after them losing Tracy and different things like that, it also with things that's going on in my personal life and just understanding family, right? And not just family, but anybody that you have to have a relationship with, period. Business, whether it's work, whether it's just relationships in general, or relations, or some type of connection or necessity to have to deal with someone, right? So okay, they're gone. People passing by, and I also was trying to figure out if I wanted to let this moment be my thumbnail. Okay, that might be it. So anyway, yeah, so I was watching it and it just highlighted some things. And yesterday I found myself getting emotional after hearing a song, right? And it took me back to just being a kid and just growth and change, and how that really can, when both parties change, right? Oh girl, when both parties change and both parties evolve and they grow into themselves and they become healthier within themselves and just learn better ways to deal, like really learning different skills to help them just become a better person, man, overall. And becoming a better person is really dependent on or based on just you. Who are you, right? Who are you with all of your past trauma? Who are you with all of your baggage and just everything that kind of built you up to be the person that you are, right? So who are you with all of these things on you, and then who are you without all of this extraness, all of this baggage on you? Like, I definitely ask for my energy to be protected, but even with, in my opinion, even with your energy being protected, there's always some type of residue, right? Anytime you go outside, right, you can have taken your shower, you can have taken your cold rinse to close your pores and everything, right? But there's still going to be different things on the top layer of your skin that still exist, right? Even if it didn't get to fully penetrate. And some of it is going to, right? It's just what it is. It's how it happens, because once you go outside, your pores open from the heat. So you're still changing throughout that process, right? Now, God can protect you, right? I'm just going to use this as an example. God's spirit can protect you from, let's say, something as wild as a car crash, right? You could have been protected from that, and then you could still have the shock from you almost getting into the accident still on you. You know what I mean? So it might not be to the full extent, but there's still something that's there. Okay, cool. So it's just about that dynamic of who you are with this thing on you. Who are you without this thing on you? Going throughout your normal day, you accumulate different energies that is not yours. So it's always good at the end of the day to just ask, just sit and be still, close your eyes, ask God, remove, or spirit, whoever you talk to, spirit, remove any energy that is not mine from my body. Unless you are the toxic person walking around every day, like, it's probably, okay, I'm gonna say, if you're the one carrying the energy, then you got to lift yourself off yourself, which is another thing. But if you're not the person who's projecting like a lot of energy off onto other people, then most times when that comes to you, you're gonna feel, or when you say this, you're gonna feel whatever it is from someone else lift off of you. Now, if you have been the thing that's weighing you down, and even if you haven't, you also need to stay yourself. You know, God, any energy of my own that is not good for me, that I have put on myself, can you help me release that from my body, right? Cool. So that's just clearing energy. That's regular, right? If everyone was working on themselves and actually are working on themselves, not from the perspective of being better than someone else or to evolve in a certain way that is having you in a mode of defense from other people, like if you're not going into it like, oh, so such and such, they say I'm this, so such and such think I'm dead, and woo, so let me go and work on this, right? If it's not coming from that, it's not, let me have an attitude, or I'm put it like this. So say you feel like people are the problem. Every time people get around you, something always comes up, right? It can be your old energy that's still lingering, right, within people. Just because you've moved on, maybe they have not moved on. So let's say you start taking it as a situation where you want to be, God, block me from anybody who can't take me as I am, right? You can say that, but at the same time, maybe you can benefit from changing some things about you and people not have to take you just as you are, right? Because maybe some parts of who you are troubling to other people's spirits, right? To other people's energy. Now, you could say, of course, there's always a way to throw it on somebody else still. But at the end of the day, you also have to be responsible for what your energy does and how you come off, right? It ain't just always other people just got to learn how to deal with you, right? Sometimes you need to learn how to be better in spaces with other people. And maybe the way you want things is a bit selfish, which is what my conversation is about today. Sometimes you do need to look at yourself and reevaluate how you show up in certain situations with certain people. And it may be that you're good in all other areas, but how you show up in these certain places, you need to work on that, because that's the most effective thing. Like, that affects people the most out of every other thing that you do. And you feel like it's this little thing, but maybe it's something also you can benefit from when you actually change it and stop just saying that's just how you are, that's just you, right? And it may be a thing where you are just comfortable with being that way because you have been that way for so long. But have you truly unpacked the reason why you are how you are, just because you've been that way for as long as you can remember? Is that truly who you are when you remove all of your baggage? when you start to work on yourself, when you start to heal certain things within yourself, is that version of you that you keep identifying with, is that really you at your healthiest self, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, like psychologically? Like, is that you? You know? And I think that we as people at times don't grow with our change, right? So we have changed over time. Things have changed over time. But sometimes we can be stuck in a certain area of our lives. We can be stuck in the old version of ourselves while every other part of ourselves are moving forward, or everything around us is moving forward. It's almost like being in jail. Like, you're still a part of the real world, right? You still have access to the outside world, to talk to people, to woo woo woo, even to have people coming from the outside world who are new. And so they've been out. Say you've been in jail for 20 years. They've been out for them 20 years. They come in and y'all have conversations, and you're now still a part of the new, right? Things in the jail change over time, right? So you're still a part of newness. I don't care where you at, you're not going to ever really just be stuck, right? You might not have been able to fully experience all the new music and all the trending clothes and all that type of stuff, but that can happen when you not incarcerated. So just using that as an example. So sometimes you can be stuck in a certain time frame, a certain part of the world, a certain time period in this world, and you never really fully adopt the newness within yourself. And that causes you to have not that great of a relationship with people, right? And then sometimes, as we know, you as the individual could have changed and evolved and are doing everything that you need to do, but I was thinking thumbnail, but for real, so you might have done everything that you've needed to do to evolve and to be who you know you have been called to be, or that you know that you could have been all of this time. It's just that you had to grow and you had to get to a place of peace in a different environment, having certain things happen in your life to change your outlook, and you've actually accepted that and you've worked with what you've been given. Cool. But let me just tell you, just because you think that you've gotten to point A and you're up there now, you living in it, you always have to maintain point A. So at any point in time you can slip a little bit, you feel me? You can make a misstep and you can be back into some of the area in which you used to be in. That's okay. We grow every day. Every day we evolve. Every day we go through different things that can trigger us to try and send us backwards. It's going to happen, right? It's just how it is. You're always going to have something to work on. So don't ever get to a point where you feel like you've changed so much that you don't have no more change in you, because not true. That's not true, baby. So cool, you did that, right? You in your zone. In this area, you know you truly have worked on yourself, right? It still might be something, a little piece you got to tweak, little part you've been holding on to. So always be open to that, right? But let's just say, in this case, in this situation, you believe you're good. You've done everything you needed to do. Cool. Okay. It's like that. And the other person you're dealing with needs to change, needs to evolve. But guess what? When you was that person, your reflection, the one you're looking at, the old version of yourself, when you were that person, somebody else had to be the you. Somebody else was the healed version, right? And y'all could have been two people who just needed to get there True. Then obviously y'all both needed to work. But at some point in time in your life, you have dealt with somebody who was the healed version of themselves, and they had to deal with you, who was the unhealed version of yourself. So with that being said, give people grace at the end of the day, right? Yeah, we gonna evolve. Yeah, we gonna change. The other person may not. The other person may just be now about to start from the situation with you, right? I'm not saying you got to stay friends with the person and help them through every step of their process to grow and evolve. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is be able to recognize, be able to see as such, and not be upset with them, not to be, you know, going back and forth or being petty or any of that. The more we learn to let things be as it is and to put it in God's hands, literally, bro, like, no, you gotta literally just walk away. It is what it is. I'm not mad. I'm cool. I hope that you evolve and learn from this situation and help. I hope that you get to see your reflection and so that you can change what's going on within you. And then you'll be able to come back and see me, right? And show up as that version that you saw that dealt with the situation differently. And once you grow, you can evolve and be that. And then we can come together and be such. Sometimes you're going to have situations with people and you got to figure out where you at, right? Always. Sometimes it's just not happening. This person is going to continue to be who they are. Use your discernment. You have to strengthen your discernment by getting with God. And then sometimes your mission is different. It's not, as you can tell, it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. It's never going to be. Which is why you just have to have better judgment. But the one thing I know for sure, when people work on themselves and evolve, most times their relationship can be better than when they have not worked on themselves and evolved. Because your goal is not to become so set in your own ways. Your goal is to become more well-rounded, more evolved, in the aspect of understanding that your way is not the only way. And the more we can do that and learn how to let go, we'll have better relationships, no matter what kind of relationship it is. Okay? Give people their space. Then also understand that you need to sometimes step in some people's space. Right? So relationships can be so much better, and ultimately the point is to work on yourself, to evolve, to shift, to move with the change, to be able to recognize the change. All of that is a part of working on yourself. The knowing, the doing, okay, and the reflecting. You need past, present, and future. All of that matters. All of the data matters when it comes to growing. So, I really, really hope that we have better relationships with ourselves and learn to have better relationship with others by giving other people grace, just like we can give ourselves grace. And also to at the same time, it's like, no, what they say, know when to hold them and know when to fold them, basically, right? But yeah, man, your relationships can be so much better, but it do take two people really working on themselves and just seeing if y'all energy matches up and understanding if it doesn't, it's okay to part ways. It's okay. But alright, I'm about to get into some more content. I'm about to actually record some reaction videos, so be on the for the sensible reactions. That's what they're called, because that's what they are. But y'all have a good day. Y'all be light, y'all be easy, and it was good talking to y'all. I really hope for real though that y'all have better relationships in your lives with yourselves and with others. and that happens in every aspect of your life. Truly, truly, truly. Everybody else is not to blame for what's going on in your life. Just as I'm done. I'm done. All right, y'all have a good one.